I, 34 meters, had a child 10 years ago, Nova 10. I was a terrible person back then. I didn't stay in her life and I deeply regret it. A few months ago I contacted her mom to see if I can see my child. She happily agreed to co-parent with me and seemed relieved, which was understandable considering she had 4 other kids, all younger than Nova. Nova was a bit distant at first, but now we are doing better. She is generally a very good kid, but something I realized about her is that no punishment seems to work on her, and also she can be very disrespectful at times. If I tell her to do something as a punishment, she won't do it, or if I ground her, she will just leave without my permission. I asked her mom how she punishes her, and she said she has never punished her before. What I've heard from Nova is that it seems like she would just cuss her out and yell at her, which I don't think are good punishments for a kid. 2 nights ago Nova asked me if she can live with me from now on. I told her I'd love it, but she can live with me with one condition: she has to follow my rules and be respectful. She didn't say anything after that. After she went back to her mom's home, my mom, who was there when Nova asked me this, told me I was an R, because if a kid is asking her deadbeat dad to take her in, there must be something very wrong. So you don't make conditions for her, you just say yes and take her in. Was I really wrong to have this condition? I can't be a parent if she doesn't listen to me. But now both my mom and daughter refuse to talk to me. Her mom will likely have no problem with this. She seems too busy with her other kids, and I think she would like being the weekend's fun parent, so that's not really a problem. Edit. I took Nova out for an ice cream and asked her why she wants to live with me. She said, I don't want to live with you anymore, you are just gonna send me back anyway. I apologized to her and told her that I would never send her back and I would be very happy if she lived with me. I just want to know the reason. After talking for a while, she said, I just want to sleep. Turns out, after she started coming to my home, her mom gave her bedroom to her younger sisters. One of them is a baby and they cry all night and keep her awake. I told her I will talk to her mom and she will stay with me from now on, and that we are gonna have some rules and I expect her to follow them. But even if she doesn't, I will still love her and I won't leave her again. She said she is gonna try, but she won't promise, because apparently annoying me is very fun. I called her mom, and as I expected, she has no problem with this and is willing to let her live with me. It is one thing to expect obedience from a 10-year-old. It is quite another to actually make it a condition to allow her to live with you. It is okay to set boundaries for your child. It is okay to have rules. It is okay to punish a child if they break the rules, within reason of course. But it is not okay to expect a 10-year-old to be obedient 100% of the time at the risk of being sent away. Totally. Op abandons child for 10 years. Child acts like a 10-year who has been abandoned. Op, wow, this is so inconvenient. I thought she would just automatically respect me. It a big time. Your love for her has been conditional and continues to be conditional. She needs attachment to a parent, someone she can trust. What you should have done is talk to her mother, then take her in and find professional help and guidance for both of you. Telling your daughter it will be alright, whatever happens, that you want her, even if she is not perfect. I totally understand why she is acting up and testing you. She has now learned that she can only be accepted if she behaves exactly like you want her to, which is not a great basis to have, especially as a girl. She is living in 2 very different environments where she is expected to be 2 different kids. It's hard. Help her. Oh gosh. I think you're trying to do what you think is best, but I agree with your mum. Asterisk YO, your 10-year-old daughter living with you shouldn't be conditional. If it works for everyone, you say yes, then work on communication and discipline. You're not the only one who has to learn. She does too. If she had no discipline whatsoever, she'll be stepping into a whole different world, and it might be difficult to adjust. She's just a kid who hasn't had the best or fairest life by the sounds of things. You possibly hurt her and let her down thinking that's all you care about and just don't want trouble. I agree, but please take parenting classes. Kids need structure and limits, but they don't need constant punishments. You've been a parent for a few months, and, with all due respect, you have no idea what you're doing. None of us do, but most of us have 10 years of practice before having to parent a 10-year-old. Read some books, sign up for a class please. If a kid is asking her deadbeat dad to take her in, there must be something very wrong. So you don't make conditions for her, you just say yes and take her in. Ding ding ding, we have a winner. What you needed for Nova was to be supportive, not rub in what rules she will need to follow. That's a conversation you can have later. Also, you just re-entered Nova's life. What makes you think she's going to immediately respect you? That takes time and trust. Trust first, rules later. I see both sides to this argument. I think the issue is mainly the way you phrased it and your word choice. We are human and are still learning. My problem is, what are you doing to make up for being a deadbeat dad for 10 years and leaving your only child in such a condition? It should have been you to bring up her living with you. Like an alcoholic, you can be forgiven for what you did in the past, but only you. If you make amends. You say she just leaves when you ground her. Where is a 10-year-old going? How can someone so young just leave? Maybe if this was a 16-year-old I understand, but 10. Get off this sub and join a parenting one. Read a book. Take a parenting class. You have a lot of work to do. Be the man we can all be proud of. You haven't been in this child's life for 10 years and you think you can discipline her? You're a stranger. Also, it sounds like she has had a very chaotic life as it is. She doesn't need discipline, she needs love, stability, and patience. Exactly, and even with discipline, threatening to kick her out if she doesn't obey is not the way. Well, it would have been YTA, but thanks to your Reddit, you are now very much NTA. I'm so pleased for you. It may be rocky at times, but well done. Best luck for the future. The edits of this are beautiful. Never give up on her and never stop trying, and you can indeed be a good parent. Walking away isn't an option. It was horribly phrased, and you seem to get that in the comments, but I'm not going to call you an R, because you are new to this and are putting in the effort to try to do a good job. You know what to do. Maybe her attitude is your punishment for leaving this. For her behavior to improve, she needs to be with someone who can discipline her properly. You've indicated you can do that. Following the rules isn't something she's accustomed to because she's never really had to live with them. Take her in and start helping her adjust. Based on post, the kid's behavior is generally good. This issue to me is beyond whether you're the R or not. This is too serious an issue. The 10 years old daughter you've reconnected with for only a few months wants to live with you full time. That's a big red flag that things at home are bad, especially when she knows you'll set rules. She's only 10. She's grown up in a chaos. Having reasonable structure and rules is good, but they don't happen overnight. Work with her, step in and be the responsible parent she needs. I feel so bad for this kid. Your daughter needs counseling, and it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to take some also. Except the kid. You disappeared for 10 years, and expect her to just obey you and respect you? Now, your ex is pretty awful too, for just agreeing to dump a 10-year-old kid with someone she hasn't even heard from all that time. The kid is probably thrilled to be away from the 4 other kids, all younger. I'd guess she's been having to babysit them. Jesus Christ, man. This poor kid needs parenting from someone. Accept her. She is 10 and a product of a no boundaries environment. Now, I think there's a learning curve and Op is learning right now. Also, this post made me realize how dysfunctional my own upbringing was, because everything was conditional from food, sleep, clothes, and I didn't see anything wrong with him saying she had to behave. But yes, kids deserve a home regardless of behavior. Thanks for opening my eyes today, Reddit. Kids are kids. Not listening is their default setting. But be careful about requiring unconditional acceptance of rules. This conditioning may set your daughter up for a lifetime of unconditional acceptance of and abuse from her partners. Tell your little girl that what you said was wrong. You are sorry, that yes, you will have rules. Not only can she live with you, but you would love her too, and you can work on house rules together. Then get her and you into some form of counseling for the attachment issues and parenting classes for yourself. You did not ask why she wanted to move in with you. Like, is she unsafe, unhappy? Is a child living in the same home hurting her? Love should be a given between a parent and a child, not something that is only there if the child does what you want. That is simply not love or care. You can only life with me if, big nope. Can your mother take her if she needs a new home ASAP? Because children should have at least one person who prioritizes them above all, and you are not that. She wants to move in with him because she's helping her mom parent for other little kids to mom had after her. This poor child. I think I'm in the minority, but I don't think you're an a-hole. I get you made mistakes in the past, but sounds like you're trying to make amends. Did you talk to Nova about the rules you want her to follow, and what the punishment might be for breaking those rules? She might think the punishment would be sending her back to her mom's, take her out for a special date, and talk to her. Seems like she does need structure, and at tenets, not late to guide her on the right path. Good luck. You need to teach a child to be respectful. All she heard was do as I say. Absolutely. Respect is always a two-way street. And it's definitely not something you can snap your fingers and wish into existence. Parents usually don't have an option to not have their kids because they don't listen. She hasn't known you her entire life and you just expect her to respond to your way of parenting after a few months. You have to put in way more work than that. Give it some time and try every technique in the book. Patience is key with children. It is strange that she wants to move in with you after only a few months, especially since you're the stricter parent. I'd try to find out what's going on. You know the kid for a few months, casually, and your go-to way to deal with her is to punish her? Of course it does not work. You made zero effort to find out why the kid wants to live with you. You don't seem to care about what the kid thinks or feels at all. You are stranger. You don't have relationship with her yet. And yes, something is wrong, but you don't seem to care either. Please understand for a moment that most children respond better to rewards than discipline. My granddaughter was very headstrong and my daughter-in-law handled it by rewarding good behavior. A chart with stars for every day she did not talk back, with a reward at the end of each week with all stars. She is now an amazing preteen. You have abandoned her for years and her mother has screamed and cussed at her. Stop thinking of ways to punish and work on ways to heal years of bad parenting.